How's it going, everybody? It's Kevin here once again, giving you another gameplay commentary. And in this video, what I want to talk about is just the Halo franchise in general. Nothing specific, no news and info kind of thing. Just kind of a trend and things I'm kind of noticing with this game and even the community as well. With a lack of playlist, features, and game modes that people have been craving for when it comes to Halo 5, and they've been slowly leaked into the community, I'm really kind of starting to feel that Halo 5 is one gigantic polished beta for Halo 6. So in this video, I'm going to dig in, do some analysis, and kind of really show you why I'm feeling this way about Halo 5. Now this video is going to focus mainly on the multiplayer side of things, because that's really where I feel like 343 is doing a lot of continual tweaking. But if you want to see what my analysis of the Halo 5 story compared to Halo 4 and just the franchise kind of really in general, I'll have a video linked in the description down below giving you my analysis similar to this video of the Halo 5 story. So to understand Halo 5 and its development process, you really have to go back and start back with 343's first original game, which was Halo 4. 343 started working on Halo games actually way back in 2009 for Halo 4, and then it took 3 years and our little baby boy of Halo 4 came out, and it came out with some mixed reviews, as you can probably assume. But here's a picture of like all the games that 343 has released. So they've actually, when you think about it, 343 has been working on Halo for quite some time, 7 years really. Plus with the roadmap going to Halo 2 and probably even more beyond that, we're going to see a lot more Halo content coming from 343. But I really feel like 343 is just starting to gauge the community now to really understand it and see what the player base really wants for Halo. I'm sure most of us remember what playlists released for Halo 5 when the game first came out. I mean, we had Warzone and Warzone Assault. We had Team Arena, which actually contained Breakout, Slayer, Strongholds, and CTF. Then you had Team Slayer, Free For All, Breakout, SWAT, and your weekend social playlist. And that was it. A lot of people were just kind of like, that's it, man? Like, that's all we're getting kind of thing? I mean, but then, they did release Big Team Battle a month later. I can understand why doing that, because 343 spent a lot of time and effort developing the Warzone game mode. And since Warzone does kind of compete a little bit in a way with, Big Team Battle fans, they really wanted to kind of get people to play that mode first to kind of be like, hey, check out this brand new thing we made. Please play it, So I understand that. But I'm also really glad that they implemented Big Team Battle later on. And they implemented a lot of other game modes as well. I mean, like recently we just got Warzone Firefight, which I was kind of surprised Firefight wasn't in the game in the first place, just because it's such a popular playlist ever since it first came out for ODST, which I think is back in 2009, I believe. Then 343 did add Social Slayer, they did add Big Team Battle, Griffball, and recently also Infection. Though I feel like Social Slayer and Griffball were really added because the community really demanded this content. And I feel like 343 just kind of thinking, well, if the community makes a big enough of a stink about a certain playlist, well then we'll add it in. Because I think what 343 is trying to do is play it really safe with their playlist selection because of what happened with Halo 4. We all know, for anyone who played Halo 4, that it didn't exactly go over that well with the community in general. It was 343's first major title release, and I can understand them wanting to come out with this brand new vision, new features, and just kind of like, drive the Halo franchise forward, which I do applaud them for that, because, you don't want to really be releasing games just because it's a new game, You want to bring something new to the franchise. You need to justify a reason why you're going to release a new full game for $60. I mean, they couldn't just come back out with Halo Reach, 2.0 and just be like, here's some new maps, some new abilities, some new weapons, but it's pretty much the same game. Or so you could say the same thing about Halo 3, something like that. So they need to justify what people wanted. And let's not forget, way back in 2009, you know what game came out around then? Modern Warfare 2. That game freaking blew up. Oh my, that was what made Call of Duty what it is right now. And so 343 took notice and went, a lot of people seem to be liking Modern Warfare 2 and what it does. Let's try to bring that great stuff that people like about Modern Warfare 2 into Halo 4. Sounds great on paper, right? But then in practice, it didn't exactly work out too well. 343 tried to implement Call of Duty-esque customization, but then tried to maintain the core elements of Halo. And so what really happened there was that, Halo players didn't really like Halo 4's multiplayer because it played like Call of Duty, and Call of Duty players didn't really like Halo 4 because it played like Halo. And so then it kind of met this perfect storm of not really pleasing everybody that you're trying to aim for in this game. And I'm sure we've all seen this graph of just the Halo 4 population, just that real steep decline when the game came out, just because it didn't really please both communities that they were trying to reach out to. Though, like I said, I really do applaud 343 for trying out new things for the Halo's franchise. I mean, Halo 4, they brought in randomized kill streaks, perks, loadouts, standardized sprint, and a brand new style of map design. And it just was, I think it might have been so much of a shock to Halo players that it just was just not accepted by players. So that's why I feel like in Halo 5 they kind of tried taking a step back and yet having a step forward at the same time with their release. I mean, obviously we saw a back to smaller arena style maps, but then also added in things like sprinting, or I'm not talking about sprint, but ADS, Spartan abilities, a rec system, and keeping that standardized sprint, but kind of tweaking it a little bit as well, but bringing back that standard map design that we've known for Halo for almost 15 years now. And let's not forget for Halo 5 the addition of the Warzone playlist, which really was a culmination of player feedback from Halo 4. Because we all remember people saying we don't like this uneven starts kind of thing, but 343 wanted to implement these kind of additions like loadouts, perks, and really kind of kill streaks really. But still trying to please the community, and they kind of found that they can kind of work that stuff into the Warzone playlist, because they noticed that with Halo 4, that game really actually played rather well for big team battle. It was actually the most popular playlist in Halo 4. So 343 saw that, and they're like, alright, let's just go crazier on big team battle. Let's give them the biggest, bestest big team battle that they have ever seen. And they did that with the for Halo 5. And I completely applaud 343 for taking note of what the community wants in their Halo game, while also trying to push the vision forward of what they want to do with Halo. And what was the other big game mode that 343 pushed for Halo 5? It was Arena, Team Arena, which was more the competitive side of Halo 5. And that was the second most popular playlist in Halo 4. I know this because I actually watched a presentation by, I believe his name is Kevin Franklin from 343. He was at 343 at the time. I made a video about it as well. You can check that video in the description as well. Just seeing the user research that 343 did to kind of customize Halo 5 to please the player base a little bit better. So now with that long introduction, we kind of get to what else about Halo 5 is what I'm trying to say. So 343 really understood that players wanted big team battle and they wanted a competitive Slayer. They got that, the casual and the competitive side of the game, but it's really kind of the same, two sides of the same coin of just first person shooter. But some people like to play it for fun, one side, and the other side of the coin, people like to play it really competitively. But then 343 saw all these other game modes and communities within Halo, and now they're kind of which ones do we really spend our time and effort on to really make sure we please as many people as possible for this game and this franchise as a whole? Because no other game in the gaming community as a whole, I mean games in general, I feel has a wider player base than Halo. I mean, you have people that like to play just the campaign. You have people that like to play custom games. And then within those custom games have their own sub-communities as well. You have people that like to make machinimas and make videos. That's why you want to add theater mode into the game as well. You have your Griffball fans. You have your Infection fans. You have your Team Doubles fans, your Team Snipers fans. I mean, the list goes on. And 343 wants to deliver to the public what they want without dividing out the player base too much and having the same issue that happened with Halo 4, where the player base is stretched so thin that if you try to play a least popular playlist, your connections are going to get really terrible because it's going to have to connect with people that are further away from you, which causes lag and ruins the overall general experience of playing your game, longer matchmaking times as well, and just an overall less fun experience. Let's also not forget that Halo doesn't really have that gigantic of a player base. Even with the free weekend that came out recently for Halo 5, it only reached its way up to number 6 in the most popular games on the Xbox Live, behind games like Minecraft, Call of Duty, NBA 2K16 I believe is what they're on right now, and a few others as well. So the Halo player base is never really gonna see the gigantic player base it once did back for, like, say, Halo 3, Halo 2, because back then Halo was the #1 played game on Xbox. But much like I mentioned in the previous commentary, that the competition nowadays is just so much harder that, you know, people only have so much time to play other games or play the games that they want. That's, you know, Halo 5 is probably one of those games that just gets pushed aside because you're like, well, I want to play my basketball games, I want to play Call of Duty, I want to play Minecraft, and, you know, I want to play Halo, I just don't have the time. Back then, back in Halo 3, you can make all the playlists you want because they were the most popular game really on consoles, or at least the shooter genre, that Bungie at the time could afford to make a ton of different playlists because there was going to be enough people there to play them. The lack of playlist support could also be a part of just 343's overall plan that they had for Halo 5 with the quote-unquote free content updates that we were receiving monthly. Like we received one of the most unpopular game modes in Halo franchise history, Infection, just back in May. But I really feel like that was really just done by design to kind of keep the player base coming back for just something new to always kind of come in and check out for Halo. Just because especially right around like the summertime, or at least for me especially, that I find that, like, you know, a game's popularity, much like a Halo or like a Battlefield or Call of Duty, you know, the initial spike of when the game releases, when the population is at its highest, the most hype about the game, but, you know, there's going to be that gradual decline of less and less people playing it. But if you have monthly updates, it generally kind of gets some more hype up for the game to bring people back into it. And what's one game mode to really get people back into the game after not playing for a while? Infection. So the withholding of certain playlists certainly plays into 343's plan, but, you know, they are certainly taking note of what the community is saying about what they want for their Halo game. And I feel like once Halo 6 comes around here, it's really gonna be tailored really to the Halo community. So what is one thing we, the players, can do to help make Halo better? And that is it's just being vocal, letting 343 know what the players want for their game. They are listening, they are responding, and they are acting. Though it might not be as fast as you want it, but hey man, Halo's only been out for 9 months now, so it's, when you think about it, it's still a rather new game, and we're probably not going to get another Halo game at least until 2017, maybe even 18. As long as the community as a whole is being vocal about what they want for Halo, 343 will listen and most likely add it to the game. Not one person can make a difference really. This video, yeah, probably not going to get much notification from 343. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But the thing is enough people as a whole rise up and then talk about what they want for Halo, 343 will listen and make the game that we want. But then on the other hand, 343 does need to be a little more open about why certain things are happening with Halo. You know, one thing is that, you know, they're not releasing the information about the player base. I think mainly because of the really the embarrassment that 343 got from, you know, people showing the population of Halo 4, how quick that decline was and how low the player base was. If 343 was really more straight up and honest, saying, hey, we only have so many players to play a playlist, we need a certain amount to maintain the certain user experience that we want for our game in a certain playlist, then reasonable people will make sense of that information, saying like, oh yeah, well, we need at least like 1,000, 2,000 players in the playlist to really maintain that vision of user experience that they have in their mind when it comes to playing Halo Online. And if they give a reason saying like, free for all is the least played playlist, and it really hovers around 1,000 rate there, then maybe players might understand like, okay, yeah, maybe Team Sniper is a little bit too niche of a playlist to add to the overall selection for Halo 5. I'm just using that as an example. Team Snipers, I'm sure a lot of people like playing it, but you know what I mean. Of course, if 343 disclosed that kind of information, it makes them look weak, because then they're like, well, we don't really know what you guys want when it comes to Halo, because we have so many people saying they want so many things, but then we implement them and then you guys don't play them, so what should we do? And of course 343 doesn't want to show that to the community because it makes them look weak. It makes makes the future of Halo look kind of shaky, uncertain, which they don't want to make their player base feel that we don't that Halo 5 is kind of like in this like limbo state of, or Halo franchise is in this limbo state of being like, we could go really anywhere. Like 343 wants to show that they know what they want to do with Halo. We have a strong vision that we want to move forward with, and this is what we're going to do, but yet we still want to make you, the player base, happy as well. So there has to be that happy little medium there of being open enough to the player base so we can understand what's going on with the game, but then they also want to put on this front of, hey, we are strong, we know what we're doing with Halo, trust in us, trust in the company, trust in the brand, and keep them spending your money pretty much. And the Halo community and 343 knows how important trust is with the Halo franchise, just because we've seen a certain hit to sales when it came to Halo 5. Well, I'm sure that the release of MCC really did hurt that trust of, when you buy a game from this company, you expect it to be a high quality, functioning product, which is exactly what the MCC was not. Overall though, I am very happy with the direction that Halo 5 is going right now, and just the Halo franchise in general. I personally feel that Halo 5 is the best multiplayer since Halo 3, and I think I can easily say that. I might even say I like it more than Halo 2. I know, but that's how much I enjoy this game, and I'm really happy with where this game is going, and I'm really looking forward to Halo 6 and see what comes out for us players. So anyways guys, it's a long video, I know, but hey, talking about the Halo franchise, it's a passion of mine, and it's going to be a long video. So if you've made this far into the video, gosh, I really appreciate it. It's a long one, but I have a lot to say. If you listen this far, I would really appreciate a like button tap, just because I put a lot of time and effort into this video, and I really wanted to make sure I released the best content I could for what I was thinking about when it comes to Halo 5. Leave a comment down below what you guys feel about the state of the Halo franchise, especially the multiplayer side of things. Do you feel like it's strong? Do you feel like it's going in a direction you don't like? Let me know in the comments down below. I do read all of them and try to reply to most of them as well. Hey, and if you're new to the channel, tap the subscribe button, because I'm always uploading awesome Halo content. But anyways guys, I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.